Hey, it's your boy, Lock Zero, and I'm here with...
It's your main man, Rev.
And we are here to review the latest and greatest in One Piece.
Here to kick it to you with the freshest updates and the hottest going-ons in the world of One Piece. And this week we got chapter 1008 on deck.
Yeah, but before you get into this video with us, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, please. We'd greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And, yeah, man.
And with that being said, man, let's get right into it.
Get into it. So we got One Piece, chapter 1008. Leader of the Atamayama Thieves Brigade, Ashura Doji.
Say that 5 times fast.
Yeah, right. Atamayama. But yeah, we got cover art here, non-canon stuff. You know, just Robin, slice of life, chilling. She decided to help a horse achieve his dreams of flight and gave him some wings. So he is now Pegasus without a horn. Do Pegasuses have horns?
Unicorns do. Pegasus are just flying horses.
Oh, yeah. So I guess he's a Pegasus then.
That's official science right there. But I didn't realize what this was at first. But I thought it was like flaming wings or something. The way it was like like brightly animated. But it's just Robin's flower hands coming out of this horse's back, and crazy. Just a regular big old flying horse flapping around. That would be scary as hell. In actuality, but yeah, Robin seems to love it and is enjoying herself.
Mm-hmm. And this was sent in by Michael Caramel. That's not a fan request name that I'm familiar with. So we got
request.
We got new people in the rotation here. So yeah, man, let's get into it. We're kicking it off, and we are in the treasure repository behind the tower. And then we see a text, somebody speaking out loud. Wahaha, I don't blame you for being surprised. I've come to the future with the help of Toki's power. And we have Odin here just declaring and standing in front of the red scabbards.
And they're all just like looking with complete shock. And he says, yeah, it's a long story, there'll be time for it later. And Kanjuro is crying.
Kinemon.
No, Kinemon? Not Kanjuro, yeah. Spoilers. Whoops. Spoilers. You already know where my mind's going. Anyways. But yeah, all the scabbards crying, Lord Odin, you're alive, Lord Odin. Nekomamushi, right? And the other girl, I can't remember her name.
Okay. Is it Okiku? Yeah, Kikunojo. Okiku. Yeah, and Odin saying, there's no time to celebrate our reunion. My apologies for being late. To battle, my friends, onward to Kaido, whom we failed to vanquish that terrible day. You know, I feel like you can kind of tell something's funky about him because of the eyes. Like, it's not fully colored in. It has that evil eye, like, manga, anime thing going on, you know? It's a sinister
eyebrows. The eyebrows with the sharp downward curve, you can tell. Those Cerberus Snape eyebrows. No, but you can even tell just by his language, man. Like, this is not how Odin talks. He's a simpler man than this. This is a little too dignified.
Too formal.
Like, too formal for Odin. I'm not. I smoke bullshit a mile away.
And Inu saying, of course. And Kawamatu's like, we will join you. And even what's her name?
The girl from
Izo
yeah. From Whitebeard's crew. She's a commander, right? Yeah, has to be commander.
Yeah, she was commander. Lord Odin, and Denjiro is just crying into his hands, taken aback. And this is actually interesting because this is like the last time she saw Odin was when she was on Whitebeard's ship, you know. So
I gotta talk about something about that later, actually. But okay, we'll move past that. All right. So, and then the next class we see it's Ashura Doji, right?
Yeah.
At the bottom, he said, "Not so fast. He's got to be a fake." Because he's the only one with common sense.
he's hood, man. People forget he was the
street smarts dog. You ain't gonna just come up on him with some bullshit like that. Come on, bro. Get caught lacking out there with that. Anyways,
can't sleep in the streets, son.
Gotta keep your eyes open, bro. And like obvious bullshit like that will be fucking taken out real quick. Anyways, the guys who went to the future and don't have any knowledge of what's going on, of hard times. What's his name? Kinemon, his name keeps saying Kinemon. He turns back with a tear in his eye. What do you mean, Ashura? He's right there before our eyes. Raizo says, remember what Lady Toki said, Kinemon? He's right there. Kinemon, he has a painful flashback, that kind of realization. He's like, mankind cannot return to the past. And he looks forward. We get a forward glance, and Odin, with a down, disgusted look on his face. Lady Toki had the power. Yeah, and Lady Toki had the power to go into the future, but Lord Odin died that day. If you were to travel to the future, that truth would never change. And we see a sword being drawn behind Kinemon's back. That's slow. Kinemon's like, but. Ashura's like, I know how you feel, but you have to open your eyes. And he punches Kinemon with the sword out. Crack. Kinemon! He turns to face Odin. Odin's already smiling, and he slashes Odin's face, and no blood appears, just a crack, as if he was made of ink or something.
Yeah,
possibly.
Little paper tear, maybe. You know what it kind of makes you? It makes you think of it's made like a pudding or something like that. Like I kind of imagine it like wobbling or something. But
and it slices through his face, and he just has that smirking look on his face. He's like, "See that? No blood." And Okiku's like, Ashura, and he gets a sword right through the middle of his body, right through his fucking chest, man.
He's like, there. That makes it clear. We all feel the same way, and he's dripping blood out of his nose.
Tears running down his face. Oh man.
We all wanted it to be him, and this Odin clone looking sadistic. And Kawamatsu's like, what a devious trick, but who? And Neko's like, Ashura, it ain't him. And we got it over here.
All the All followers are like, yeah, but his presence, his mannerisms, they belong to no one but Lord Odin. And
Izo.
What's her name? Izo says, if anyone could recreate them accurately, it would be one of us. Denjiro says, so it's you. I'm going to have to get a list. This is too much. I don't know how you remember other names. And Ashura is lying almost dead on the floor while everyone's surrounded and stunned. Odin says, who says that? Denjiro says, Kanjuro! I think because it was the last one in there. So Denjiro screams out, Kanjuro! And the fake Odin, or Fodin, says, ka, don't be stupid, I am Odin! And Ashura is laying bleeding on the ground, and Okiku is lying over him, saying, Ashura, I'm so sorry, this is my fault. I failed to finish off Kanjuro for good. And he says, I don't blame you for going soft. He was our friend.
Yeah, and then he continues in the next panel, laying on the floor as the scabbards are attacking the Fodin, and saying, this battle just gets harder by the minute. And someone's screaming, this is only a painting? Where's your real body? Ka. Controlling me remotely saps so much strength. What are you saying?
I was saying I think that was Raizo, just because it's right above his head, but it could be someone else.
It might be Denjiro.
Into the battle. Yeah.
Since he's like clashing with him, and they're banging swords, whatever. Yeah. But Kanjuro continues. Denjiro's like remotely, and then Kanjuro's like, I am deeply wounded. I expect I will die in this battle, but I will die having pierced the very heart of the Kozuki clan as Korozumi Kanjuro. Ka. And we see a little panel of Kanjuro running around somewhere, and he gave him the bamboozle. Reminds me of Mirage from Apex. He got his little clone. But we got Denjiro over here, and he's saying Lord Momonosuke is in danger. And Kawamatsu is like, that's right, I remember hearing a voice somewhere. And we see the one little Marys, one of the Marys. This one's the mouse in the rafters, saying, and when someone's saying that Lord Momonosuke was with a Konoichi. Continue over here.
The scabbards are surrounding the fake Odin, Fodin, and what's he saying? I think it was one of the scabbards says, "This must be Shinobu. Then we can send a message to warn her." And fake Odin takes off his shirt, or starts to open his shirt, and we see some, it looks to be dynamite sticks, and he has a lit match in his hand. You see he ignites it. Everyone is in shock. They're like, oh shit, what are we gonna do? He rushes in with his swords, attacking the scabbards, saying, you wouldn't be tasteless enough to hunt down a dying man, would you? Stay here and fight with me. And clanging with all the scabbard's blades. Ashura, with another look, says, huff, huff. And we are to dump some the last heartbeats of him. And he gathers himself for a final move, jumps at Odin, screams at the rest of you, get out of here! Go and stop Kanjuro! Denjiro with, tear in his eye, screaming out, thank you, Ashura! Ashura takes fake Odin, blasts him through a window. Fake Odin's like, get off me, you great big... And we see him stab Ashura in the back with both of his swords.
Oh, I didn't even catch that before.
Yeah. And then the scene starts to ignite, and Ashura, as he's getting blown back away, says, never defile Kozuki Odin again! And a huge explosion in midair between fake Odin and Ashura, who manages to get him away from his compatriots, gets him out of the building. But on the building edge, we see a huge explosion, and the face of the entire building gets blown to shreds. Roof in the first floor, I'm assuming, are completely trashed from that side.
Yeah, and then we got this next panel over here. The scabbards are being blown away, but it looks like they're just outside of the blast radius. So that just the force of it pushing it.
Yeah.
And we see them reeling on the floor, glancing up to see what's going on, and Kinemon and Neko looking distressed. And we get a shot outside of a crispy, burnt, it looks like Ashura Doji with a sword sticking in the ground. And everybody's just taken aback, very, very serious, very sad. Kikunoju is trembling, and Raizo is just having that very stoic, that glare of anger, and Kinemon is in rage mode, screaming out, Kanjuro! And he starts rushing off, and Kanjuro is just
somewhere else
having a blast. It looks like he's swinging his painting brush around. He's probably making more ammunition to fight with. I think there's other people fighting in the distance.
It looks like he could be slashing someone, cause those may be blood splashes, right? I mean, it probably isn't just ink. I do see something. Yeah, I see something a little bit beyond it, but it's not clear enough to see what's up. But yeah, he's probably making things like you're saying. Probably gonna summon a bunch of fake Odins or something to cause a bunch of chaos in the battlefield, or maybe even Momo. I don't know about Momo, because that would just make confusion. But we see him saying, "Become Kozuki, bring down Kozuki, then die. It's the greatest final act my entire life. A beautiful and poignant drama." And he is bleeding from every orifice: his mouth, his eyes, his nose. So this is how Kanjuro is deciding to go out, with a horrible, entertaining blast, dark drama. And we see all the scabbards again looking taken aback, and we see an image of Jack returning to the battle, but clearly gas. He says, "Wheeze, wheeze. That took longer than I anticipated." And the scabbards just reply back, "Jack!" And Jack is looking not too great for the wear here. Eye patched up, trunk bandaged up. One of the tusks is stapled back together, so he's talking a whole bunch of noise, but not looking too great. But we keep going. Nekomamushi's, taking it back. Jack says, "I had to break through all these flies, desperate to protect their kings." And we see a lot of the minks, taken out, bleeding, unconscious, possibly dead. We don't know, but destroyed by Jack. We see Raizo and Ino, right? Behind him. He says, saying, "Cat, Raizo, hurry on ahead." Jack's like, "You intend to stop me on your own, king of the day?" And Ino's like, "We're both injured. Sounds fair to me, doesn't it?"
Yeah, and then we got this oddity over here. Like, the other guys just run past, and it's like Jack not like I can't see that happening. Just like. Oh,
well, if Jack tries to attack these guys, right, then he leaves himself wide open for the guy in front of him, like two-pronged attacks. You don't want to turn your back, leave your back open. So it's like, I'll let you guys, turn back. If you try to attack my back, then you got to face that. But, if they're going to run away, then you let them,
But yeah, Jack, or somebody who's saying, "I don't choose this fight to sleep the scores of the past. I choose it to keep you occupied." Pretty sure it's
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
So that you cannot create any new victims, Jack. Go and protect Lord Monosuke, my friends. And Jack staring, just that dead, cold-eyed killer stare at him.
Cold eye.
You aren't gonna see any moons down here, nor clovers or heart-shaped balloons. And he was like, nor is there any poisonous gas. So both have to make do and clap back, Best,
I don't see no bitch ass poison gas around here, son. You about to get clapped real quick. I got one leg and all the rage I need, Jack. But we go to another part of the castle that's on fire. Someone's yelling, "There's a fire in the castle! We have to douse it before it gets out of control." And someone in the black shadows goes, "Goo hoo hoo, you fools! Your mistake was betraying me, Kaido." And out of nowhere, I want to leave.
Your favorite character?
What's his name again? Oh my god, Orochimaru. No, but Orochi, the fuck. He's back. It turns out the Hydra mode, yeah, he didn't die from getting his head chopped. Orochi's back with his stupid ass grin. I'll burn it all, and he screams, "I'll burn it all down. You'll all die up here in the sky where there's nowhere to run. Goo hoo ha 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 ha." Sounds like a baby. Orochi kwa. And then we see one of his loyal followers shooting someone, the tall-headed guy.
Fukurokuju, the leader of his ninja clan, secret ninja clan thing. We saw Fukurokuju leaving the battle before, just leaving, and Hote, the samurai captain guy, was like, "What the hell is this guy doing?" So he was obviously instrumental in bringing Orochi back to life, or whatever status he was in. But yeah, so, he's quickly dispatching this guy, so that I'm guessing Orochi's presence is not known.
Is that one of the spies for his network?
Fukurokuju?
No. The guy that Fukurokuju is shooting.
No, I'm pretty sure he's just a fodder, beast pirate guy.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think the thing is, like, Orochi's just running on creating chaos, and Fukurokuju is making sure that his cover isn't blown, Yeah. But,
alright, so Orochi keeps running. He's like, "That's the last mistake you'll ever make. I'll slaughter every last one of you." And we keep going to the next page, where we get the flash of Team Momonosuke.
And now will you relax and stay here, Momonosuke? And I'm sorry. I'm much better at controlling it than I used to be. When I first met Luffy's crew, I turned into a dragon whenever I was surprised or sad. And he's back in Yamato's shirt, fighting, and Yamato saying, "It really startled me. It really startled me. I wonder if your power was like my father's." And then Momonosuke's like, "If only I could turn into a monster like him, it would be such a help to everyone." Foreshadowing much, but we continue, and Yamato is, anxious and, bracing herself. She's like, "Speaking of which, I hope Luffy's alright. I want a chance to beat Kaido too, being Odin and all." And Shinobu, or Momonosuke says, "Luffy is greatly weakened, but somehow he's still fine." Shinobu's like, "That's a relief. Wait, what? How do you know that, Lord Momonosuke?" And he's like,
And we get a flash of the rooftop of Onigashima. Yeah, dyslexic.
with that gigantic sword in the foreground. Continue.
Oh my god, is that what that is? Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't even notice that. Alright, so we hear a good chunk and a flash, which looks like lightning flashing from the roof. And then Luffy, who looks like he's waking up in the middle of a battle or something, but we're getting back to the main battle, and he's getting, I think, knocked back actually into some rocks. He goes, "Gah!" And someone's like, I think Kid says, "How are we supposed to beat them?" Huff huff. No, that's Zoro, I would think. Is that Zoro saying that? Someone says on the rooftop.
I'm gonna assume it's Kid, because if it was Zoro, I'm pretty sure it'd be easy to put the speech bubble indicator right next to him.
Yeah. And Kid's a little punk anyway, so he's like, "How are we supposed to beat them?" Huff huff. "It doesn't feel like our attacks are doing anything." And we see Law, Killer, Kid, Zoro, and Luffy getting smashed back into the rocks.
And interesting, Kid has like some kind of harpoon device on his other arm, looking like Captain Ahab over here.
Gotta catch him some whales, or a dragon, or a fish.
Yes, exactly. He's going fishing,
Anyways, so Luffy pops up with smoke coming out of his mouth. Wah! Crunch. is he eating rocks or something? They're working. They are working. There's no way all of these hits could have had no effect. And he bazooms out of the ground back into the shadows toward them. They're just as human as we are. Gum. And we go to the next page, and he gets smacked into the rocks again. Yeah. And the kid's like, think before you leap. Killer.
That one I think was actually Zoro who said that.
Oh yeah, I see that. I see the little thought. Yeah, bubbles. So Zoro, think before you leap. Killer looks to the flaming shadows, which is, I'm amazed he can call them the same species as us, Huff. And Luffy pops up again. What? So you're just up here just expecting us to lose? And he's like, and Zoro's like, no, we're thinking of how to win. We see Law. And he's like, we should peel them apart.
The voice of reason over here.
We should peel them apart. And I thought that was creepy as hell when I realized it, but I think he's just talking about separating them.
Yeah.
Not sadistically like taking their skin. I'm like, God damn, Law. Like, okay, confidence as hell. But anyways, Zoro's like, I agree. Kid's like, with the two of them standing side by side. And then we see a flash to them. Big Mom and Kaido. It just looks...
We get the Kaido hybrid reveal. Hybrid.
And pretty epic. Dragon, Kaido, horn guy-ish. I mean, a little underwhelming. Whatever. And he's like...
We'll talk about that.
And Kid comments,
like,
it just looks like we're in hell. And Luffy with the best grin on his face and look on his eyes like, yeah, that suits me just fine. I've been to hell and back a few times already. It's home territory. And Kaido with the grin on his face like, that's
it, Straw Hat. The light never leaves your eyes, does it?
Oh my god. That's
the end of
the
chapter.
End of 108. Oh my god. What a chapter.
Alright, man. We are here with the review, and we got some topics to go over. First thing I wanted to address, the Izo power level situation going on over here.
Yeah, so Izo, right? Captain Commander of one of Whitebeard's divisions, right? So, yes. How tough are commander levels really? Because, I mean, Izo doesn't strike me as particularly, like, on the Jack level of things, on, Cracker level of things, so is it just Whitebeard's particular commanders that are just, like, because they're so spread out that they're, like, a little bit weak? Because, I mean, not for nothing, but, all these other Captain Commanders look ridiculously strong, and I'm sure Shanks's, commanders are not anything to, like, smirk at either,
I think it's with Whitebeard's crew in particular. Like he had a bunch of commanders working under him, and I don't think it's like the same thing as Big Mom's generals or Kaido's commanders or whatever. I think if you're gonna think of Whitebeard's crew like that, you gotta look at like his top four, which to me was
Marco, Jaws, and Ace.
No, well, Ace at a point in time, yeah.
And Teacher, but, not even Teacher.
No. The Vista.
Yeah.
Vista, yeah. Those I think were his top guys, like his direct underlings. But yeah, that would be a pretty strong base of things. And I think Izo kind of falls in the category of maybe power, if you want to rank him power level wise, around Oven Daifuku level. That's kind of where I put him.
Oven seems pretty strong too. He seems like a Sanji level.
Nah. I think Sanji would low diff Oven. I mean Oven would probably get a few shots in, but he completely speed blitzed him and kicked the shit out of him, and
that's true.
Did it so fast
and that was without the raid suit, right?
Yeah. So
that's true.
I don't.
That's probably a fair level up, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I would probably put Izo a little bit above that, but that's the ballpark of where I put Izo.
So that's a pretty good range, like pretty sizable range right there for the Captain Commander like levels right there. Because I feel like you have some who are damn near close to Yonko level, and some who are like, barely above like Lieutenant in like the Navy. No, for like. Yeah. But I mean, I guess it's hard to rank power levels in One Piece, but I don't know. Mm-hmm. But it also like makes you wonder how like the Scabbards fall, because Ino just stepped up and tried to take on Jack one-on-one, and I think he's about to give him the business, so like...
We'll talk about that in a second. One, to get into the whole Odin clone thing. So, yeah, it was I think it was the
pretty telegraphed. Yeah. Like, I think with just the mannerisms, the that was to me was the biggest thing. Like it came off as like not Odin. Like it seemed like someone wearing Odin clothes.
Well, aside from that being a fake Odin, I think with all the theories flying around, Katarina Devon, the little Tanuki teapot, Onimaru, like all these things, all these various theories.
Random new character who has mirage powers. It's One Piece. He can invent somebody if you want. You know?
Yeah. But yeah, the Kanjuro clone seems to be, it was the most likely candidate, and we find out in this chapter that's who it was. Yeah. So, Kanjuro's a vindictive asshole, gotta say.
I mean, really good at his job. I can't deny it. He's like the Joker here, but it's like, yeah, you suck. But
the Scabbard should be taking things a little bit more seriously. It seems like I can understand to a degree the trauma of killing somebody you thought was like your best friend forever, and actually turned out to be a traitor and shit.
I mean, I could see how you'd want to believe it too. It's the heat of battle. You're getting your revenge after 20 years, and it's like everything seems to be lining up like destiny. Why not have Odin also come back and like make his revenge? It's like, yeah, now you get that big force you could take down Big Mom or Kaido, and it's like, this would be beautiful if it's true. So you let yourself believe the lie, but what deep down it's a lie. But anyway,
when they finished Kanjuro before, they should have chopped off his head. Same thing with Sasaki, because why leave a huge enemy like that tied to a tree? You know what I mean? Like,
not for nothing, but Ochi had his head chopped off, and that didn't fucking stick. So I guess you gotta do that. Burn the body, stake him. Like, I don't know. Like, are they vampires now? One Piece people.
I give them a pass. I give them a pass with that one because they wouldn't know the extent of Orochi's powers. So not killing him just because of ignorance of his capabilities is one thing, but leaving an enemy, just
didn't you stab him through the heart?
Yeah, do something to him. Because that would be something that Frankie could be dealing with something else right now, other than Sasaki. You know what I mean? So, but that's that. What else do we want to talk about?
Let's talk about the street smarts of Ashura, like recognizing her after that. That's not Odin. Come on, like guys, like reality's reality. We saw him die, and there's no taking that back. You couldn't summon it, throw a dead body into the future. It wouldn't work for that. Not even Odin has mega super healing powers. Mm-hmm. So Ashura, giving that mental slap to the Scabbards when they needed that, being like, guys, focus, come on, it's not real. And going to slash him, and leaving himself wide open for that chest slash. Oh, it's rough. That's rough, man.
Yeah. I don't believe he's dead. I'm going to say it right now. I don't think he's dead.
I'm going to say he's dead. He took a sword slash through the chest, 2 more through the back, and then explosion to the face. It's a good death, It's bad, but it's like, yeah, that's the end of him.
One Piece just has too much of a track record of fake deaths and not killing people. I think he's probably out of commission for a significant portion of the fight, but maybe he'll come back at like the very end to do something, to resolve something or help out in some way. But for now, he ain't dead to me.
Well, he's dead in my eyes, so if he comes back, it's a pleasant surprise. I'll say it like that.
And then alright, so next topic, Jack and Inu situation. So, fire-ass comeback from Inuarashi. Bitch, ain't no poisonous gas.
Hey, you ain't gonna see no moons out here. You ain't gonna get all tough. He's like, yeah, I don't see no poison gas to help your punk ass out.
Where's your crew? Where's your 5,000 soldiers backing you up?
Where's your homies? I don't see no one around here. Still, he pulls out his right here, talking all that shit. He's about to clap Jack's cheek so fucking hard. I'm ready for this. I want it.
I don't know, honestly. I'm not sure. I mean, all right, let's backtrack for a second. First off, I think it might have been more what's the word? Maybe prevalent for a few of them to stay and help Inu as well, instead of making it
prudent.
Prudent. There you go. It could, we don't know how. It's a toss up right now how this fight's going to resolve itself with Jack or Inu's going.
Yeah, I think Ino and Neko should have stayed, but I guess they have other plots to run. So I think Ino and his level of piss, and then they showed how strong Ino was, even with one leg. So I think that he's about to give Jack some sauce.
I hope so.
I'm praying for it.
I'm thinking the trend might be we're gonna see the Scabbards kind of getting picked off one by one here, and it's gonna look like bad for them. But Ashira's taken out for now. I don't think he's dead, but I think he's out of commission for now. Inu is sidetracked with Jack. I think we're gonna see as they progress, trying to get to Momonosuke. They're gonna keep getting separated, dealing with independent skirmishes to keep the main force heading towards Momonosuke.
That makes a lot of sense to me, actually. I feel like that picked off strategy is probably gonna be what happens. But I think it could be even a darker path where we start to see the Scabbards fall one by one, or like seemingly fall. Yeah,
exactly. I think that's what's gonna happen. It's gonna look like, oh man, they're all getting defeated, and then there's gonna be some kind of grand retribution, and them pulling the win out of nothing. So I think that's gonna go. If anything, I'm kind of speculating that Sanji might show up when Jack is gonna deal with Inuarashi, like maybe
where the hell is he? He's supposed to have showed up at some point.
He said he was trying to decide where to go, and then he made his decision, but we don't know where he decided to go to. Maybe he's doing something completely different. Maybe he's actually being smart and he's doing something behind the scenes that's gonna be beneficial to everybody.
He's like, hey guys, we still got this floating rock mountain situation to deal with. We should probably hop on that problem. Maybe I think that's a Sanji solution guy. He could work on.
Maybe he's gonna do something with the intercom system they have with the Marys and stuff to use that to their advantage somehow. Who knows?
Any chance CP0 gets involved in the fight, but before the Straw Hat side?
CP0, I think, are gonna wait for an opportunity to do something. I mean, I'm sure they're all strong, but they're not stupid enough to think that they could handle, either force that's in the war right now without the numbers seriously being dwindled. So, if they see an opportunity, I think they'll take it, but I don't think they're gonna act on their own. I don't think they have the capabilities to just handle everything on their own. So.
Something that gives me a topic. Where do the forces currently stand, right? Because it seems like Kaido's forces are starting to mutiny, right? So we have at least a partial. So that Scabbard is still up. A lot of the generals are following. Orochi now starting to take out some of the Beast Pirates as well. So I feel like a couple thousand are swinging the other direction, towards the Straw Hat side.
Speaking of Orochi, what do you think his game plan is? Like, I'm gonna guess he can't fly. That's not part of his devil fruit. But I mean, we saw Shinobu flying on a kite with Nami before when they were escaping from the capital. So I'm assuming Fukurokuju would have some kind of similar tool at his disposal to get them out of a situation when things are burning, because Orochi obviously needs to escape as well.
He might just be so consumed with burning everything down now. I mean, who knows? Maybe he's just a little suicidal.
I was gonna say, I'm wondering what his disposition is. Like, is he on a mission to just destroy as much stuff as possible? And
is he gonna try and go fight Kaido? Like, because Kaido won't die from any of this,
Yeah. It's not gonna affect Kaido. It's just hurting Kaido's ambitions on a personal level. It's not going to do anything to him physically. So, Orochi's probably acting out of spite right now and just wanting to be revengeful and hurt as many people as possible. I mean, his ambition, he said before, like, he doesn't care about ruling over Wano or anything like that. He wants to ultimately destroy it and just have his little paradise, in his capital and his castle or whatever. So that's ultimately where he wants to go with it.
So I think this honestly supports both his goals, because he's going to try and take all the forces and still use this floating fiery rock to destroy the capital. And two birds, one stone, literally. Wow.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm wondering what Fukurokuju. I don't think he has any kind of loyalty to Orochi out of some kind of admiration or any warm feelings. I think he's a pragmatist at heart. So it's like, why is he vouching for Orochi? What does he think Orochi's capabilities are? And what cards does he think Orochi has to play that he's gonna still keep backing him in the face of these Yonko and stuff like that. Like I don't think he's like a patriot. I don't think he's like
maybe he swore to Orochi and he's like I swore on my word and I gotta back it up. Maybe
I don't think he cares about that because I mean he was serving the Kozuki clan before, and when Orochi took over, he just kind of switched, and that's why Shinobu left, because she didn't want to deal. She felt like it was traitorous and hypocritical and all that kind of stuff. So I think he's an opportunist and a pragmatist that before anything. So he has to have a reason to vouch for Orochi and be backing him up, in my opinion.
Maybe he just thinks that Orochi just can't die, with his devil fruit power. So
maybe. I'm still sticking with that theory of you gotta chop off all the heads at once situation, like with the myth of the Orochi no Yamata thing.
Either that or just stab him through the heart, That usually gets the job done.
Susanoo cut off all his heads. He put all his heads through those torii gates. You know what the torii gates are?
No.
It's those red like.
Oh, those things. Yeah.
So he put one over all his heads and chopped all his heads off. So I'm thinking we're gonna get some kind of similar situation. And I mean, the amount of scabbards we have kind of lends credence to that as well. So I think that'll be their retribution to get rid of him.
Yeah, and if Ashura's dead, then you already have the one chopped off by Kaido, so that's 8 heads for 8 scabbards. Maybe.
Well, I think you gotta do all of them simultaneously. I mean, I don't know that it's gonna follow the legend, the mythology exactly verbatim. I mean, there might be some creative license that Oda took with Orochi's Devil Fruit.
And Momo might actually get the last hit then. If you think about it that way, if you need 9 versus 9, then 8 and Momo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Possibly.
Maybe. Yeah.
But,
Momo.
Foreshadowing a little bit there.
So yeah, I'm thinking he's gonna unlock something soon. There's the speculation as to why he knows what's going on with Luffy. There's speculation maybe it's the Dragon Devil Fruit since his is derived from Kaido's. Yeah, I don't think so either.
I think that's from the voice of all things that he has. I think that's what that's from, personally. But
do you think that's an observation hockey thing, or do you think that's his own power?
I think that's the power, maybe part of the Odin family lineage, right? Like the ability to hear all things, because they said it was a special thing. I don't know, but then Roger had it. So I don't know. Maybe that's a thing of the D clan. I don't know. Maybe. Too many questions. But so I want to talk about with Momo. His devil fruit. Is showing to be really powerful and looking like he's gonna follow the exact same kind of lineage that Kaido did, where he's gonna become a huge, powerful dragon maybe off the bat once he levels up. So I guess the point I was trying to make with that is this is a smile fruit technically, right? That Vegapunk made, so it's not an incomplete fruit. Why did he leave this behind? What's the drawback there?
That's what CP0 was talking about before. Like they're saying, it was a failure, but maybe, I don't know, maybe Vegapunk thought it was a failure and, put it aside. Maybe he thought it was a success, but didn't want to give that power to the world government. Maybe Momonosuke is going to do something to, unlock a portion of the power that Vegapunk didn't realize, you gotta do this or that or whatever to, fully realize its capabilities, you know what I mean? So, there's a bunch of possibilities. But yeah, maybe do you think it's possible that Momonosuke might be Uranus?
What? Come again?
Ancient weapon Uranus? Do you think?
No. No. I don't know what that's gonna be, but I don't think so. I mean, it would make sense, right? The heavenly dragon. The ultimate power.
Because we got Poseidon under the sea, we got Pluton on the sea, and then I would assume there would have to be some kind of air force or something,
It would make sense too as it being a devil fruit, right? The last weapon is a fruit that you'd consume and you'd become Uranus.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's speculation.
But then couldn't Kaido also be that? I mean, I guess that's what the immortality thing is, right? You can't kill him.
Maybe. I want to say this. So One Piece was supposed to be a lot shorter than it is originally. Oda intended it to be a 5-year series, and when they were when they were in Skypiea, you remember Asa? I don't know how to pronounce her name. It's Aisa. The little girl, the Shandorian. She could hear. She had like really good observation hockey and could hear everything that was going around. Like she kept saying like, "Oh, these voices disappeared," blah blah. I kind of am speculating that Oda kind of retconned the story a little bit, and Momonosuke is now filling the role of whatever Isa was supposed to be, you know? Because Momonosuke is kind of in a similar... he feels similar to me in that aspect. He's picking up on things like that, you know? So,
yeah. But it's also like, fair to assume there might be an intentional connection there with like the Skypiea people and maybe the samurai then.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, and also, to be fair, Kobe has really strong observation hockey for some reason, you know, it just kind of...
Yeah.
I think it has to do with...
So does Roger and Luffy, you know?
Well, I mean, Kobe seems to be exceptional. Like in...
That's his forte, where like Luffy's is the Kings.
Yeah. And I think it's tied to his emotions as well. Like, you know, I think he had such a strong emotional reaction to stuff going on in Marineford is why he was able to unlock that level of observation hockey to the degree that he did. And why Luffy, when he does observation, he's able to sense feelings instead of just like, you know, things coming from one direction or another. So, yeah. Who knows? Let's see, what else we gotta talk about?
But, okay. Back to the rooftop.
Yeah. Luffy tanking hits. Yeah, that was the thing I saw people commenting on. He seems to be a little bit more durable. He's not just getting one-shotted by one, you know, a hit from one of these guys. So
taking him and jumping right back up, asking for another. You know, that's pretty by two emperors. So I don't know if you take a shot by either, or kind of just like baseball slaps him back both times. But either way, you know, that killed him before, and now he's like, "Thank you, sir. Let's have another." And he's like, "I've been to hell and back. I love that shit. That's where I live. This is home to me, man."
And you know, their tactic of separating them. What do you think? How do you think that's gonna work out? I mean, do you think Law's capable of just teleporting Big Mom away? I'm not sure if it's gonna be that cut and dry. I don't think he can just.
I don't know if you can even, because both of them want Luffy's head, so it's like they're not gonna like, you know, be like, nah. They both want to keep smacking this guy in particular.
Big Mom is a dum-dum though. Like, I mean, honestly, like, I think one of the main reasons she's a Yonko is A, because her devil fruit is super fucking busted, and B, she's just like, you know, biologically, you know, just, you know, invulnerable pretty much.
She's a tank, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think she has any crazy like fight strategy or battle strategy or anything like that. I think she's just such an overwhelming force, you know. So I think getting her away from the battle in some way, shape, or form doesn't seem to be too much of a far cry.
Well,
I'm just wondering.
I think the way you do it is you have Luffy and Zoro take on Kaido, and you have Law and Kid fight Big Mom with Killer, just because Kid's has been shown to be able to take off the electric damage with no effect, so he's invulnerable to that. Law has the teleporting ability, so he can move where they need to go, and Killer has some pretty, you know, crazy attacks with the Sonic. And I think the reason why I keep Zoro there with Kaido is because, you know, you want to have some balance, and also because I think that his blade, you know, wants a little bit more of a taste of Kaido. You know what I'm saying? He wants a little chop action right there. Kazuki Oden's spirit speaking. He's like, no, I want to do it again. I want to chop that motherfucker. So that's why I think you have him and Luffy take on Kaido, and the other three, you know, kind of hold off Big Mom, or maybe even beat him, and you have like a little redeeming moment for Kid.
Yeah. I think the more technical people need to be the ones dealing with Big Mom. I'm gonna assume maybe they could bait Big Mom into doing something like charging at them or like flying towards them or something, and maybe Law could like teleport Zeus away or Prometheus away at the last second, so that she just like falls out of the sky or something like that. You know what I mean? And lands somewhere else, like inside the dome or something of that nature. You know, that's maybe a possibility. But yeah, I would think, I think the technical fighters in the deal with Big Mom, and the brawlers need to deal with Kaido. I'm wondering once they remove Big Mom, where she would go and what she would be doing. Like, if she's just gonna be causing chaos somewhere else and hurting people over there. Like, somebody needs to keep her occupied.
I mean, the roof is pretty big. You don't think they could just make like a little wall? Be like, this fight split.
Yeah, maybe Law just puts up a maze. He just makes a fake maze and like distracts them that way.
He just puts a game show. He's like, Big Mom, come this way for magic prizes. He's like, hold on. I know it's a trap, but I'm going to go here. I'm going to see what this is about. But
distract her with some food. You could teleport some Oshiruko on top of the dome and keep her distracted.
Yeah. Also, I guess 2 more things I didn't want to talk about. Looking at battle damage between the 5 versus the 2, the Supernovas versus the Yonko. All the Supernova are bleeding a little bit or scuffed up for sure. Except Luffy, who's not bleeding. He's scuffed up a little bit, but no blood coming out. And Kaido actually has a couple of scuff marks. I don't know if you noticed around his jaw and his head. He has a little bit of damage showing. Big Mom doesn't have any, I don't think, but she has that invulnerable skin. But I think these attacks are starting to slowly tick away at them.
I think we're getting an indication of how significant the damage is being done on each side. Like, because I'd say like it's like a 7-3 split right now. Like the Supernova are achieving some kind of output of damage here, but the majority of the damage is being dealt to them rather than for them. So,
for sure.
Yeah, but and the final thing to talk about, the big reveal, Kaido's hybrid form. I'm not impressed. I mean, I don't hate it, but it's pretty like.
Did you notice he has
middle
a tail?
Of the line?
A little tail. Yeah. Doesn't give it cool points.
I wish they would have done more with his face. Like they should have given. I think they should have given him like an elongated neck, with more of the dragon like snout kind of thing going forward, and instead I mean he's standard Zoan hybrid form like Lucci, Batman.
That's what I'm saying. It's like he's like Lucci, kind of like it doesn't deviate too far from the norm. It's kind of what you'd expect. I mean, it's Yonko, so you kind of want to hype it up more, but yeah. I think we all got in our head it's going to be the most epic dragon hybrid thing. He's a dragon man,
Yeah.
Take it with a grain of salt.
We also don't know that this is the only hybrid form he has. Like Lucci had different things. He had like his speed form and it was like more of his brawlic form. So
and the more human contained,
Yeah. Who knows where Kaido's gonna go with this? And he's mythical zone, so maybe he has even more options.
Chopper at 7, he has to have like 21, right?
Yeah, maybe.
And Luffy just with the best, comeback. Like not the best comeback, but a great comment saying, that suits me fine. I've been to hell and back a few times already. It's home territory. It's home territory. Damn, man. He wants all the fucking smoke. I love it. And Kaido giving him that heads up, and I was like, bet. I like this fight.
Did you watch Oz?
I never did, and I don't really want to, because I hear it's fucked. I hear terrible things about it.
Well, for those Oz fans out there, it reminds me of a scene between Adebisi and Kareem. They were like oppositional forces in the prison, but like Adebisi got him to like join him, quote unquote. Like Kareem was like pretending to join him, and they're like chanting together. It's like nothing, and it's making me get that same vibe from Kaido and Luffy. They're like totally vibing with each other. Like, yeah, this is awesome. Fight boners, yeah.
Yeah, but they're in it. They're loving it, and I'm loving it. Great mix of action all around. I guess we can jump into the chapter grades, right?
Yeah, man.
All right.
I am going to give this chapter 7.5. Well, I'll give it an 8. Because it's more. I was giving it a 7.5 more so of my personal taste, but it was well told. It flowed pretty well. It's just like my anxiety to get to the meat of things. The meat of things is why I'm like, all right, maybe I downgrade a little bit, but cool stuff. I will knock a few points off because, like I said, the Kaido's hybrid form is kind of mid for me, so You know.
Me personally, I'm gonna give it an 8.2. Good chapter, great chapter. But yeah, like good flow, great lines, great scenes. There's something like that I think could have pushed it over the top. I don't know what it is, but like there was something a little I guess letdownish, but great moments all around. So I have no complaints with this chapter. We get the Orochi comeback. We get Ino, given the best one-liner in the history, the best comeback. Ain't no poison gas. What else? And then seeing Luffy take shots by the Yonko and like asking for another was just epic as hell. So a part of me wants to give it a higher score, but I don't know if we can fully do it. And of course, Ashida's sacrifice was pretty great. And yeah, he's dead. And I'm gonna say he's dead. Took 3 sword shots and an explosion to the face. If that didn't kill you, I don't know what kills you in One Piece. Because I mean, freaking what's his face blew himself up. Trying to kill Pedro. Pedro, yeah, so... I feel like explosions are usually meant to be final in One Piece. I know we have the couple exceptions here and there, but I want to take this as, we are down at 8 scabbards. No, 7, right? Because Kanju's a freaking traitor.
Well, yes and no, but Izo wasn't there either, so, Izo makes up for his spot. Solid chapter. I enjoyed it a lot. And now we move on to MVP. Illuminati. So who do you think the MVP is for this chapter?
Part of me wanted to give it to Luffy for that, and part of me wanted to give it to Ino for his one-liner, but hero of this story, the realest in the room, I think, was Ashura this chapter. He's
just to make a side note, it doesn't have to be a positive force. It could just. But continue. You're gonna give it to Inu?
Yeah, no. I'm gonna take Ashura for his heroic sacrifice, for recognizing it's a fake Odin and calling him out. Taking that initial sword strike, taking the protecting the team, and getting the bomb out of there and dying. So. Yeah, I'm going to have Ashura as my MVP this week.
Nice. I get your logic. I'm going to have to go the complete opposite way. I'm going to say Kanjuro is the MVP for this chapter. Because he was effective, you know what I mean? Even in his dying, breath, he took a significant member of the scabbards. He did it in a way that he himself was not unharmed, so he played it pretty smart, you know what I mean?
I can see how you go there too. That's a fair coin flip too. I just I felt like his heroic moment was more like a good team, because MVP, team player, right? I mean, but I guess we're talking about the team and then the whole sense of the manga. But yeah, you know what? I can see where you came there. I'm still gonna stick with Ashura as my MVP. He made the heroic sacrifice. He was the one to drop on the grenade to take that shot, for his team, and that to me is more lasting. And for me, but I would give him a 3rd place for Kanjuro on my medals this week, just because Luffy with that hardcore line, I live in hell, let's keep fighting, and even Kaido's like, respect. Yeah.
He's encouraging him. He's like, that's it, Straw Hat. That light never leaves your eyes, does it? It's like there's admiration there. There's respect,
Do you think he's gonna stop and be like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna show you how to use King's Haki, because you just cool, man. You gotta do it like this, not like that, man. He's like, oh, okay, Kaido. Now kill me now, let's fight. Can you imagine that's the thing where he's like, you know what? I think Straw Hat could actually be the one to kill me. He's like, it's your King's Haki like this. That would be kind of hilarious. Because think about it, right? He learned observation Haki by battling Katakuri. He did get the help from Hagimoto in the prison, but he usually learns in battle. So why not have Kaido show him the final lesson in how to beat up a Yonko? Because we were introduced with Kaido with the sense of he wants to die anyway. So if he finally finds someone who can do it, he might just be like, do it, hit me with your shot.
Hit me with your best shot.
Dun, dun. Okay.
Alright, and we are here with our predictions. Yeah. So next chapter.
Yeah, 109. And no break, so you can get
Yes.
right to it right away.
Yes, absolutely. So, I'm hoping we continue back with the rooftop. There seems to be a need for some more resolution with, the scabbards and what's happening with them. Like I said before, when we were doing the review, I'm thinking we're gonna get like a montage of them getting, separated one by one into different skirmishes, and that's how that's gonna go. But I think we're gonna get more of that next chapter, and I'm hoping we get more of the rooftop and the resolution with what Law was saying.
Yeah. I think we're not going to get any of the rooftop. I think this was just like a little taste of what's to come. Just kind of check back in to let you guys know, like, okay, nothing crazy's happened here with this fight. They revealed the Odin, so they also I think he wanted to go back and do that reveal for Kaido as well. But I think we actually focus more on what's going on in the lower levels next time, and I think we're going to lose like 2 or 3 of the scabbards on things, that show up in the battle. Maybe I think even a clash with Orochi is upcoming. Maybe he runs right into Momo and it's like Yamato versus Orochi. I think that could be what happens. I think Sanji also shows up to help Ino's battle with Jack. Those are my big predictions. Also maybe some appearance by Nami and Usopp.
Yeah, that needs to happen soon, because we've been getting like setups for all the different Straw Hats with their fights. And we gotta get that kind of setup getting handled at some point as well. So I think that's a likely candidate to coming up soon. Not sure how soon.
I think Paige and Ulti still fight them again. I think that they're gonna just level up and find a way to beat them. Like I think.
Yeah.
I think
I agree.
I think Usopp is gonna finally get some hockey in his repertoire. Like either like maybe he don't do the hockey armament blast, but he will get better observation so he knows where to strike their vulnerable points or something like that. Yeah. And I think Nami's just gonna keep raining down thunder. That's her thing. Don't fix it if it ain't broke, and it ain't broken yet.
Yeah. Okay. So something you can take into consideration. She did talk about before how she that thunderbolt that she did on Ulti, wasn't strong enough, and it was kind of like a foreshadowing of maybe she's gonna get Zeus back or something of that nature. With them talking about separating Kaido and Big Mom, maybe that's going to start setting up the path for her to get Zeus back, if that's going to be, what happens.
The only thing I have a problem with that is I don't see how she takes that Zeus from Big Mom in front of Big Mom, Yeah. Unless she gets separated, like Zeus gets separated, I guess, but it's like, I don't see her one-on-one just snatching it. You think with Big Mom's soul power? I don't think so. I don't know.
I don't know. She did take it from Big Mom when they were escaping on the ship in Whole Cake. So, Brooke cut him in half, and she fell off, and then Prometheus caught her, and then she told Zeus, hey, who knows? Maybe she has developed her own skills further. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, there's so many potential threads for what can happen next chapter. There's so many different things going on. I think there's also high potential for more Orochi content next chapter. We can get more of an explanation as to the mechanics of his devil fruit and why he wasn't dead when his head got chopped off. Some kind of interaction. I think like you said, him coming across Momonosuke could actually be a high potential for that, and maybe Yamato throws one of her little I don't know what the hell she called it, the thing that she threw at the giant when she ran away the first time, and Frankie was fighting him in the General Frankie whatever. She can shoot forces of energy or something out of her club, but can swing it so hard she can throw some kind of force. Maybe she chucks a force thing at him and puts a hole in him, but then he regenerates or some shit like that. So who knows?
We shall see.
So yeah.
But I don't think we go right back to the rooftop, or if we do, it's just a small little taste. I'd like to have a whole another chapter because Luffy is, going a little crazy, and I love it. I love that he's has that look in his eye. Mm-hmm. Gets me really excited for the next part of the final battle that's about to show up. Mm-hmm. But overall, love the chapter. Great stuff. Can't wait for 109.
1009.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Nope,
man.
109.
No break. So super happy about that. And yeah, man, I guess that's gonna be a wrap for us. You know, thanks for sticking with us, checking out the video. Hope you guys enjoy it as much as we do.
Yeah, if you guys have any comments, feel free to leave them below, or if you have any theories you want to have us discuss, feel free to bring it up. We always appreciate the feedback, and from me and my end, thank you guys again for joining us.
I've been Lock Zero.
I've been Rev.
Alright, guys. Peace.
Peace.